Hello friends, welcome to Risingpearl.com. Today we are talking about Series 8 where we are learning a great deal on arithmetic progressions. Friends, this is webisode number 12 and today we are going to continue to find out how do we solve questions where we need to calculate sum of n number of terms in a given AP. This is part 8 and like we have seen earlier we have actually covered 7 parts. Each part we looked at in detail different types and flavors of questions that you may get on arithmetic progression, and this is just a continuation. This is the 8th part where we are going to take a look at some more types of questions, and we are going to focus on questions that may need to deal with sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression. So friends, I hope you're following us along at risingpearl.com and that you have gone through all of these webisodes. If not, I will strongly encourage you that whenever you get a chance, please take a look at all those webisodes to get an idea of what kinds of questions that you may get, and most importantly how you should go about solving those questions. So that's it friends, let's dive in and take a look at some questions. So question number 30, again this is a running count for the questions. So the first term of AP arithmetic progression is 5. Alright, so we know the first term is 5 and the last term is 45. Alright, and the sum is 400. Find the number of terms, so which we don't know, and the common difference. So what we have been given is the first term A1 or also equal to A, that is 5. That is given. Now last term, so let's say there are n number of terms because we have to find out the number of terms. So we have to find out the value of n and common difference as well. So common difference is also not given. So an would be the nth term or the last term. Now that is given as 45. Alright. So we have been given the first term and the last term, the nth term, and also what is been given is sum of first n numbers, which is equal to 400. So now we know that sum of first n terms of arithmetic progression is n by 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d, right? Or it's also the same as n by 2 times a1 the first term plus an the nth term or the last term, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to use the second one. And why are we going to use this one? You will see in a moment, because the first term is given. First term is 5 because a1 is 5. So we have been given Sn is equal to n we don't know, n by 2 times the first term a1 is 5. So we put 5 here plus nth term is the last term which is 45. That is also given 45. Now this should be the sum of the n number of terms, but the sum is given as 400. That means this value is 400. So all we do at this point is simply solve. So we have an equation n by 2 times this is equal to 400, or in other words n will be equal to 400 what we have here, and this 2 will be multiplied on the other side. So multiply by this divided by 5 plus 45, that will be 50, right? So if we solve this, so 1 0 1 0 will cancel out and 5 8s are 40. Now 8 2s are 16. So n is equal to 16. That means in this AP there are 16 terms. So how can we find out the common difference? Well, we simply know that nth term is nothing but a plus n minus 1 times d, right? Or they should be equal to, so nth term itself is given as 45. 45 is equal to first term is 40 plus n minus 1, n is 16, so this should be 16 minus 1 times d. And if we solve this, let's see if we have enough space to solve this. So we have here, so this will be 15, right? So first we are going to get the 5 on the other side. So it will be 45 minus 5. So let's write this way. So D is equal to, first it will be 45 minus 5 divided by, this will be 16 minus 5, 16 minus 1 is 15, or this will be 15. So 45 minus 5 is 40 divided by 15. So this will be the value of D. We can actually take 5 as a common factor. So 5 8s are 40, 5 3s are 15. So the common difference is 8 by 3. So N will be 16 and common difference is 8 by 3. So friends, this is how we solve these kinds of questions. Let's take a look at the next question. The first and the last terms of an AP are given. So the first term is given and the last term is given. If the common difference is 9, this time the common difference is given. So let's write this way. So we know A1, that is given, and let's say there are n number of terms. So the last term is also given. And common difference is given, so D is equal to 9. So how many terms are there? So we have to find out the number of terms, right? How many terms? So N, we have to find out N. And what is their sum? So in this case, we have to find out what is the value of N, and we have to find out the sum of those N number of terms. So how do we do this, right? So we can actually say that if there are n number of terms, then an will be equal to a plus n minus 1 times d, right? Or from here, an is given as 350. So this will be 350 equal to a1, the first term is 17, plus we don't know the value of n minus 1, but we know d is given as 9. So if we solve this, so let's write it this way. So n minus 1 times d times 9 is equal to 350 minus 17, right? So if we do 350, or in other words, so n minus 1 will be equal to, so how much is 350 minus 17? So 3, then it will be 20, 50 and 350. So 333, and then we bring the 9 here divided by 9, right? So if we do this, so it will be, can actually this be directly divided by 9? So obviously we can say this divides by 3, so 1, 1, 1, and we have 3, and now we can say 3 3's are 9, and then 2, 1, 37. Great. So then n will be equal to 37 plus 1. This minus 1 will go on the other side, it will become plus 1. So 38. So we have found out the first part, which is 38. There are 38 terms in our arithmetic progression. Now we have to find out n. So we can use any of the two formulas. We can say n by 2 times twice a plus n minus 1 times d. We can use this formula, or we can use the other formula, which is n by 2 times the first term plus the last term. So in this case there are n number of terms, so this one. So we are going to probably use this one simply because the first term, second term and n are known to us. So n is 38 divided by 2 times a1 is 17 plus nth term is 350. So I'm not going to actually go ahead and do this calculation, but you can pretty much do it yourself. So this will be basically 19 times whatever the value here is. So this is going to give you the sum of these n number of terms. So let's take a look at one final question, friends. So here, find the sum of first 51 terms. So we have to find out the sum of first 51 terms. Okay, so in other words, we have to find out sum of 51 terms of an AP whose second and third terms are 14 and 18 respectively. So this is very interesting, and like I have mentioned to you over and over again, it is my goal at risingpearl.com to give you all kinds of flavors of questions that you may get on the topic. So this is the first time we are looking at a question like this. So interestingly, what is given is that A2, or the second term, is given, and this value is 14, and A3, second and third term is given, whose value is 18. So one thing to immediately note is that, so we have to find out the sum of first 51 terms, right? We know the second term and we know the third term. So because these consecutive terms are given, so immediately we can say common difference is going to be A3 minus A2, or it will be 18 minus 14, or it will be equal to 4. Now note that the reason we can say common difference is 4 is because second and third term are given. A2 and A3 are given. If instead A2 and A4 were given, meaning that if they were not consecutive, right, but there were any other two terms, then we would not have been able to find out the common difference. But because these are consecutive terms, we can find out common difference. Now let's see what else can we find out. Now second term is equal to A plus D. A plus D, right? Because it is the first term plus common difference. If A is the first term, assuming A is the first term plus common difference is equal to the second term. But second term is given as 14. And we know that D is equal to 4. That means A plus D, which is 4, is equal to 14. Right? So simply from here we can say A is equal to 14 minus 4, which will be equal to 10. So now we know the first term, right? We know the common difference. So simply what will be S51? So S51 will be nothing but it will be equal to n by 2 times twice A plus n minus 1 times D, right? Or n is equal to 51. See, this is n is equal to 51, so so it will be 51 divided by 2 times 2 times A is 10, so 2A, 2 times 10, plus n is 51 minus 1 times D is 4. So if we just solve this, so it will be 51 by 2 times 2 tens are 20 plus, so 51 minus 1 is 50, and 50 times 4 will be 200. So in other words, let's give ourselves maybe a little bit more space here. So we have 51 by 2 multiplied by 200 plus 20 is 220. Or in other words, it will be 51 times, these will cancel out, it will be 110, 110, and when you actually multiply this, whatever the value you get, that will give you the value of sum of first 51 terms. So friends, as we are solving these questions, what we are noticing is using this formula, that is the nth term, which is A plus n minus 1 times D, and using Sn, sum of first n terms, which is equal to n by 2 times 2A plus n minus 1 times D, or n by 2 times A1 plus An. So using combination of these two formulas, we are able to solve all these kinds of questions.